the ophthalmologist of education.
Say you are able.
So great a man you are.
More than
You are a blessing. Nana Unkwasawate.
also able.
Good morning to you, Honorable Dr. Yawse Duchon.
You are able.
God bless you. God bless you. God bless you.
You are able.
Reverend, Honorable Reverend Johnny Timfojo, Deputy Minister General Education. Honorable Gifty Chumampofo, Deputy Minister TVET.
And the games.
All the directors of education of the 16 from the 16 regions of Ghana.
Name of Jesus, I believe.
All directors of education.
Yeah.
All the 16 regions of Ghana.
And I
I want to say good morning to you. Good morning to you, teachers.
Change my mind, I believe.
Good morning to you, students.
Fashion the
And those of you who are sitting for the WASI, we want to say congratulations. We believe that you've successfully passed. And
every
you are getting us the 8 A's.
I saw my head on my one set. Nobody could
So we are live on Whole FM 92.5. Whole 92.5 FM. We are live. We want to say good morning to you, those in the Volta region listening to us this morning. God bless you for always doing the listening.
say you are able.
We are live on Class 91.3 FM on Facebook, Transformation Agenda Series page on Facebook, Word Radio GH page on Facebook. We are also on our YouTube channel at Transformation Agenda Series on Education.
Fashion against me.
Or
Shine
you can also get us on www.classfmonline.com.
set me trouble. Take
Connect with us.
my soul.
We have so much to share with you this morning.
Nobody can change my mind, I believe. You are able, more than able, also able. Lord, I believe. You say, more than able, also able.
So reminding you that this program is proudly sponsored by the Ministry of Education.
You are able. Yes, sir. I believe it.
Happy birthday to you, Ella Buedu,
Say,
my beautiful daughter. 19 years today. Happy birthday. Stay blessed, be lifted. May God increase you and expand your boundaries.
you are able,
Happy birthday, Ella. God bless you.
also able.
So the minister was in Kumasi, that's Ashanti region, and there are a lot of things that happened when he got there. So in significant move to enhance the quality of education in the Ashanti region, the minister convened a landmark forum bringing together 1,005 directors of education, heads and teachers of senior high schools across the Ashanti region.
Far above.
So the meeting began with his address outlining the government's commitment to providing a holistic and high quality education for all students. He further underscored the importance of collective effort to overcome obstacles and create an enabling environment for effective learning. The event also provided an opportunity for the directors of and heads of SHS to share their insights, concerns, and suggestions directly with the minister. The open dialogue focused on crucial topics such as curriculum relevance, teacher development, resource allocation, and strategies to improve student outcomes.
Through the day.
In his closing remarks, the minister expressed his gratitude for the active participation of the SHS directors and heads, reaffirming the government commitment to working closely with educators to uplift the educational landscape in the region.
Woke me up this morning, you could do it over again. I am alive.
So the Ashanti Region Teachers Forum is the start of a national tour to meet with teachers all across the country.
You say I'm rich.
This is a minister that is not sitting,
You do it.
always moving,
Believe
ensuring that things are done.
you're more than able. Also able. Lord, I believe. Yes, sir. You are able.
There was another important occasion that occurred on the 15th of August 2023. Now the Center for National Distance Learning and Open Schooling held its second National Digital and Distant Learning Conference at the Labadi Beach Hotel. The theme for the conference was Reimagining Education, a call to multi-stakeholder coordination and active for equitable access to digital and distance education in Africa. The event, which brought together the educators, policymakers, and experts from across the nation, focused on harnessing the potential of digital and distance learning to create innovative and inclusive educational experiences. In his keynote address, the minister emphasized the importance of bridging digital divide to ensure all students, regardless of their socioeconomic background, can benefit from the digital and distance learning opportunities. He also announced the introduction of Ghana Virtual Senior High School and launched the Ghana Learning Passport and Minecraft Education. Throughout the conference, various experts shared insight and success stories from their experiences with digital and distance learning. Presentations covered topics such as virtual classrooms, online assessment, teacher training in digital pedagogy, and effective method for maintaining student engagement in remote settings. We stand at a crucial juncture where technological advancement has have the potential to revolutionize the way we teach and learn. It is therefore imperative that we embrace these opportunities to enhance access, quality, and relevance in education.
If you set me trouble, tape ya. Nobody can change my mind. I believe.
God bless all of you.
You are able, more than able, also able. Lord, I believe. You say, more than able, also able. I believe you, sir.
I want to help shape the life of the next generation.
There's never a better time to teach children than at those formative early ages. Once you prioritize that, you give them a head start.
We work as a team and we work to produce results.
We need to improve our teaching of reading so that literacy levels will rise for our nation.
Teaching students in the mother tongue boosts their morale and helps them to participate very well during lesson delivery.
They are very happy coming to school regularly because they know that when they come, they will also be given the chance to talk and participate.
The head teacher provides all the necessary resources that we need.
The most important way of improving basic education is when you improve the quality of the teacher. I always tell of the story of two guys who were behind me at the domestic airport at Kotoka, coming from Kumasi. They were giggling when we got to the domestic airport. And I was curious as to what they were talking about, so I was kind of eavesdropping on them, and I heard them say, "Wow, Ghana, we are so blessed. Our domestic airport is better than the international airport of Niger." But I was also saying to myself, I hope these guys have gone to Dubai, and they can compare our international airport to that of Dubai and laugh at the same time. Ghana is blessed as a nation. We are doing way better than a number of other countries, but therein lies our Achilles heel, so to speak. We get excited that we are better than these countries whose names I will not mention. But what we forget to know is that we can be one of the best in the world. And that we should not be happy because we are better than some other country in West Africa. We have to challenge ourselves to understand that we can compete with Vietnam and compete with South Korea and compete with all these countries if we create that sense of urgency among ourselves that our performance at this time, that is one of the best in sub-Saharan Africa, is not good enough for Ghana. Ghana can do better.
Pregnant. That was in the year 2009. I was 14 years by then. So since then, when I had my first child, I was having this desire to go back to school. But because of financial constraint, I was hawking to provide for myself and for my child. So I decided I would go back to school. So as I was preparing, I got pregnant again.
This
because
is
I
the
was staying with the
Transformation
man.
Agenda series on
So
education.
I
with
had to
Abraham
drop
Naidu.
that desire again and start all over. But along the line, I had the desire that I wanted to go back to school. And unfortunately, I got pregnant the third one. Yes. But after that, I decided I would go to school. So I left the man and I started my life. From there, I started selling to provide for myself and the children. And many people were advising me that I was brilliant, I should go back to school. So I took the bold step and I went to so-called Bogame MAGHS Form 2. That was 2018. And in 2019, I wrote my BEC and I passed. I was admitted in Maoli School, which was last year. I want to thank the government. I know it's not only me that is going through this, and because of the free SHS, I've come back to school. There are a lot out there. To me, it is a good thing. It is a good thing. And I thank the government. I want to become a midwife.
Indeed, she wants to become a midwife. Good morning once again. You are listening to the Transformation Agenda series on education. Those of you at the Volta region, whole 92.5, God bless you so much. Today, we're also going to activate the phone line just like we did last week. We want to do that a bit earlier today so that you can call through and have the guest talk to you. I have here in studio Mr. Aaron Chum Akwabwa, who is a Strategy and Innovation Director at the Ministry of Education. He is a friend to this particular setup, a Class FM, and he's been with us throughout the beginning of this program. He's been here. He makes a lot of sacrifices to be. I don't want to take that for granted. He stays very far, but makes the time to always come here. He comes very early as well. He's just like his father, the minister, comes early all the time. And I also have here the mathematician, one of the best mathematicians in Africa. You have no idea who he is, but I think you've heard him here before, Mr. Buenote Agbugula. When you hear the name, you can see that something heavy is happening. So Mr. Agbugula is also here. He's a math teacher at the Accra High School and also at the STEM Center. That is built coordinator at the STEM Center. And I also have here the National Coordinator for Guidance and Career Counseling at Ghana TVET Service in the person of Madam Gifty Mensah. She was here last week as well. And so we're going to continue our conversation that we started last week. And I want to say, stay tuned. Tell someone to also tell someone. We are live on YouTube on the Transformation Agenda series page. And then also on Class FM 91.3 Facebook, Transformation Agenda series page, Facebook, WORDRADIO GH page, Facebook. Connect with us and watch the footages that we are showing. Someone was asking me whether we have TVET facilities in this country and whether they have equipment, and I was surprised he was asking that question. The question I asked him is, are you in Ghana? He said, yes, he's in Ghana. So if you're in Ghana, then listen to the program this morning. We're going to show you some footages, photos for you to see. This country has moved forward. As far as education is concerned, I mean, we are second to none. We are the best so far on the continent of Africa. Good morning to you, my guests. God bless all of you for coming this morning. I'm grateful for having all of you here.
Thank you. Good morning.
Yeah. Good morning. Good morning. Madam Gifty, how are you? Fine, thank you. And then Mr. Agbugula. Mr. Aaron Chumakwabwa, I will start with you. I mean, we spoke about STEM education and TVET. We see how the two connects together. Someone called and said that if he was the president, he was going to scrape off the secondary education and just put up the the TVET and the STEM, because he thinks that we've been doing theory for a long time, and now that we are introducing the practical, we need to put our strength to that direction and make sure that we achieve. Now, today, what I want to ask you is, do we have the STEM schools and do we have the TVET centers, and are they operational? Are they working? And where are we with these two programs?
Yes. So thank you again for having me. Yeah, the answer is yes. I've been on the program several times, and I've discussed the 7 brand new STEM schools and STEM centers throughout the country. And obviously, we are consistently building more and more. We had approval for 30 plus schools, and meaning the government has had, and the ministry has had approval for 30 plus schools, and we're continuing to build and put them through. So when we talk about the schools that are currently operational, we have Kwasi in the Northeast. Kwasi is in Bono, and it's an existing school that we put a 12 classroom block, but it has labs for all the different types of sciences, including ICT. We also have Pasempe in the Northeast, which is a full brand new STEM school. And when I went to cabinet to show them the school and get approval for certain things, I was told that we shouldn't give this to the children. Say, man, if I weigh mine, what they thought it was a trade school or a higher level school than high schoolers. We also have 2 schools in Bosomtwe. So we have Bosomtwe boys and Bosomtwe girls. Bosomtwe girls is the first and only STEM school in Ghana, and as far as I know, the only all-girl STEM school in West Africa. We also have Awaso in Western North and Abamosu in the Eastern region. Accra High School, as my colleague here is the coordinator for their STEM center. I'm sorry, the instructor there, and so we have a STEM center there. We also have STEM centers all over the country in places like Fijai, Infantipim, and the rest. And so we have the facilities. As far as TVET goes, we have fantastic facilities. There's a sense of envy on my side as a quote unquote grammar school person or a STEM school person for the things that are happening at TVET, because even in established schools like Accra ATTC here in Accra, Kokomene, you should go see that building. You should see the things that they do. It's almost like a factory there. They're making chairs. They're working on cars. They're doing fashion design and everything else. We have the schools, and we're consistently building schools. And in fact, Ghana TVET service is the baby of the services in a sense of it's a growth, right? It's only about 2 or 3 years old, and brand new schools all over the country. The flagship new school is the Applied Science School here in East Legon and Accra. It is a fantastic institution. I've been there several times, and I'm watching young men and women work on tractors and heavy machinery. I'm watching young men and women work on different types of engines, all the way from our standard diesel and petrol engines all the way to hybrids and electric only engines. So across this country, we have them. Inyem has a bunch of new equipment. There's also a ground cutting last year for 32 new TVET institutions in Ashanti region all over this country. And also, just as a reminder, there are a lot of category A TVET institutions already in the country and already in the system. Yeah. So the answer is yes in the short, and the answer is listen to everything I just said in the long. But we're ready.
All right. Thank you very much for that. We are grateful for that. Madam Gifty Mensah, you are with the TVET service, so at least you can give us a little bit detailed information with the TVET. I got this list of schools that we've been asked to go and run documentaries on. I have Sacred Heart Technical Institute, which is I think in Accra. We have the Have Technical Institute, St. Joseph Technical Institute. We have Methodist Technical Institute, that's Kumasi Kwada. So we have the Kibi Senior Technical High School. We have Abetifi Technical School, Ghana Secondary Technical School, Don Bosco Technical School in Sunyani. We have St. George's Catholic Senior High School, that's in Bosomtwe. We have Dagbon State Senior High School. And these are all TVET institutions that has been built and equipped, fully equipped, that we want to show Ghanaians to appreciate what we are. But tell us, what is happening at TVET?
Yes, so what is happening at TVET? Please let me say good morning to our listeners, and then everybody who actually listens to us every Saturday morning. And with the TVET, like somebody said, you see TVET and the normal SHS, there's no much difference, just that TVET, they actually do the practical aspects of whatever they are learning, and then we know the grammar schools, we know what they do actually. So they all do the core subjects, that is the English, maths, social studies, and science. And because a number of them might finish at a certain level, I'm going to give you the levels, and get to their own jobs. That is why we also teach them entrepreneurship and then ICT. ICT is very crucial. It's very important. So it's like somebody doing the same SHS course, but I want to go to technical, and someone says I want to do the grammar education. So actually we need those who also do the grammar education, because we need administrators, we need other people who manage. So those who will go for managerial positions and other things.
Okay.
And other people also work at the technical and the vocational aspects of life. So I don't see why you could scrape off one aspect and leave the other, because you still need others to augment whatever you are doing.
Okay.
So I don't agree with what the man said, because they are doing the same thing, just as it's a choice.
Okay.
So this is my elective, and the other person also chooses
to
the
do
other
whatever.
elective. But with the TVET, we actually have 8 levels in TVET. The proficiency 1 and 2 is for those who didn't get access to schooling. Maybe the person didn't get access to formal education, but he still wants to learn something. So the government gives you that opportunity to do the proficiency 1 and 2. So you get a proficiency 1 certificate. It depends on the course area you are doing. Some have 6 months, some 12 months, some 10 months, some 9 months, depending. Then you get your first certificate, which is proficiency 1. Then you go on to do the proficiency 2. If you want to even exit at the first level, that is proficiency 1, you can still work, but with some supervision. So when the person wants to actually progress, then after you've passed your proficiency 1 exams, they also do some generics. It depends on the subject area you are studying. So you have a way of teaching you maybe applied maths, applied English in your subject area or in your course area. So when you are able to complete the proficiency 1 and want to go to proficiency 2, you actually do that one too. Then if you still want to progress to national certificate 1 and 2, then you can privately do your BC. And I don't know whether that option is there, those private students. So when you are able to pass that exams, then you can actually do the national certificates 1 and 2. So those who have already completed JHS write the national certificate 2 exams. That is what actually helps them to progress to the university level. So depending on your results, if your results are very good, you can go ahead and do the BTech, that is Bachelor in Technology. But if it depends on the university.
Excuse me, so when you say when your results are good, are you talking about result in terms of maybe you had an exam practically or theory?
The exam from CTVET.
It's a practical exam. It's practical, not a theory.
No, theory and practical.
So what about somebody who may not be good at the theory but very good at practical, and he's not able to do well in the theory? So that is
where the options are. You have the proficiency 1, proficiency 2. And then national certificate 1. But if you want to go to the university, then you have to pass the national exams. The exam that is there, that is the condition. So if you are able to pass, and it depends on the university. We know people also write the WASI. You go to the university and they tell you that you are qualified for diploma. You can't do the degree straight away, so you have your diploma before you get to the degree. It depends.
Great.
So if you can go straight to do your degree, that is BTech, or do the HND, that is the higher diploma. Then from there you can actually progress to BTech. From BTech you can go to MTech and even DTech.
All these things you're saying, I think it has to do with the requirement that one needs to from one level to another. But we may have people, if you go to the mechanic shop right now, you have people that have worked for years and they have experiences that the things they know, they may not be able to write it. But if you were to compare them to somebody who may even have the masters in engineering or whatever, they could be able to do the same thing. So that the difference is that the person has gone through a formal system and has a certificate, and this one cannot even write. Now, how do you grade people like that who may not have gone through the formal system but have that experience that can even work? And you can have people who have finished university. I remember years ago, I don't want to mention the name of the company, but they would prefer to take people from the polytechnics than the universities, because they believe that those at the polytechnics had a lot of experience practically than those who went to the university. So how do you now, I'm saying this because you can also have somebody who may not be able to pass the exams that you've put in place, but may have the experience to be able. How do you separate them as they go along so that somebody doesn't fall out because he couldn't write well?
So that would depend on who wants to employ the person, because we have a national standards of
Okay.
schooling.
Okay.
So you have to go. That's why we've given the opportunity for those who want to write the proficiency 1 and 2.
Okay.
That one you might not actually write maybe difficult exams in English or maths or whatever, but actually you have the practical and the skills to work. So it will depend on the employer.
Okay.
So when you go there, he wants you to exhibit your practicals and then what he actually needs from the employee, then you will be employed as such. But if you want to progress, then there is a condition that you have to go through.
All right, I'll come back to you. Let me go to Agbugla. You had a STEM center, so purposely, I think your focus is more on what do you call it, engineering at Accra High. You know of TVET, right? What is the link between somebody? What is somebody who is pursuing engineering? What connection is that person going to have with the TVET education, or somebody who has been through the TVET? If I'm employed in a company and I have a TVET person in place, what are some of the things that we can do together?
All right.
You can come closer to your microphone. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
And I'm really honored to be with this great man, Mr. Akwawa, and our mom on the stage.
Yes.
And good morning to our listeners. The connection or the relationship between STEM and then the TVET professional. The two all the two emphasize on critical thinking and problem solving skill. Critical thinking and problem solving skill. Now the background for STEM is built on TVET. And TVET date back as far back as the olden days. For instance, those times when you as part of our assessment, we have what we call art and craft. So at the end of the term, every student is supposed to produce a broom, a fan, and bring it for mark to be awarded. Then from that era, we move on to the design stage. And that brought about the era of the JSS. Where students were taken through technical drawing and technical skills those times. Now it is called pre-technical skills. And they are taken through the design process where you identify a problem and you take it through the design process, that is situation, the brief, the possible solution, modification of the possible solution, and then you move on. Now, the whole concept about STEM has to do with integrating the concept of the TVET in problem solving and applying critical thinking to solve our day-to-day problem. And it's all geared towards improving upon the economic background of individuals and as a country. Now, for the one who has a background in TVET and the STEMmer, there is a close link between the two, and the two are all needed in any business endeavor. For the STEMmer, he is exposed to he is exposed more to the use of technology. So for example, when it comes to the Accra STEM Center, most of the designs we do, we don't use our hand to do. We don't use physical man-powered tools. All are written, we have codes, we write codes, and based on the codes, the program is written, and then you see if this engraving, the engraving is done. If it has to do with the 3D printing, you issue the command, and then it is done. That is not the stage where you go and pick the wood carver to be carving and all those things. Now with the TVET, though both STEM and TVET seeks to train individuals to develop their critical thinking skill and then problem solving skill, TVET seeks to train in a particular field based on demand. So for instance, if we need a lot of mechanics, so they go into that training and go and then specialize in the mechanics. Now with the STEMmer, he embraces all, and all the concept of TVET thrives on the wheel of STEM. So with STEM, technology is used to project all, and that also enhances productivity.
Okay, thank
For
you.
instance, if let's say you are to engrave a name on a material, and you have about 20,000 materials to do the engraving on, the TVET skill, the one with the TVET skill who will be doing it manually, will not be able to produce that within a short time.
Okay.
But with a STEMmer who has been exposed to using the computer program, using robots to do such a task, the task can be executed within a short time.
Okay, thank you.
A lot of products is produced with accuracy.
Great. Thank you. You are right. Thank you very much. So, Mr. Irena Kwabua, you, when I mentioned the issue of people who are also working outside the formal system, you wanted to say something. I think I'll give you the opportunity to mention that.
Yes, please. I believe that they need to be brought into the formal system because let's think about this carefully. We are talking about a gap. This engineer cannot read and write. This engineer cannot become a full high-level function engineer to support Ghana, right? But we don't throw that engineer away or that person with engineering skills. What we do is that we provide them interventions because these exams that we're asking people to be able to write as someone who is finishing SS1. I don't think that's asking too much for any adult Ghanaian. That you can write as if you were 15. I think that is fair.
Yeah.
Because you need that level of reading and writing skills in whatever language it is to be competent. Right? And so that is what we're saying. And so I know what is happening at the TVET institutions, and I know what is happening in all our institutions, especially our secondary schools, is that students are receiving more and more interventions. Students are being identified early when they come in, and you realize that their BCE for English was their lowest score. Now, we may put those students all in the same classroom together, and we would actually give them more hours of English so they can get that level there. Or that student is struggling with some of the science skills or some of the other skills on paper. They still must pass those things because the world is not just Ghana. And if that young person is able to do the skills and all those things, you know what will happen? They will go work for Toyota. And they will keep that job the rest of their life.
Yeah.
And so as inflation goes, their pay will stay the same. And Toyota will be happy that they have a high-level skill person touching things and making things for them.
Yeah.
But that person will never be promoted. And some young person who can write a simple exam will now be that person's boss. So you'll be 40 years old at that Toyota factory, and your boss will be 25 because we, as a government, did not give you intervention to get you to pass. And because you said, well, I have my skills. But your skills don't last forever, right? And so you have to be able to grow those skills. And I want us to also stop saying that because person A is so skilled with their hands, they cannot or should not be so skilled in the mind, supposedly, right? The hands are controlled by the mind. It is a true skill, and you must bring them all together. Our young people need to have the academic writing, reading, quote-unquote grammar skills to match with the physical hands-on practical skills, and it can happen at either the grammar schools or either at the other at the TVET schools. Because if you are such a high-level practical, I touch things, I grow things, I make them happen with my hands, but then you can't write the report. You always have to pay the young man or woman at the grammar school to write your reports. And if you can write the report very well, you have the fantastic ideas, but you can't put it to practicality, then you have to pay the TVET person. Why not have enough skill on both sides so that you don't have to always be paying? Is that not what Ghanaians do? We grow all the food, but we don't make the final product. So we grow all the cocoa, but we don't make the chocolate. Nestle, a Dutch company, a place where it's cold, where they can't grow cocoa, controls every ounce of cocoa in this country for the most part. How and why? Because we're missing one of those skills. You see? And so we have to make sure everyone has it. We can't say that you're so good at this that the other one must go to the side. That doesn't help us in totality.
All right, thank you very much. Madam Gifty Mensah, there's something I want to ask, then you can continue. You remember that last week a gentleman called and made a statement. He said, I went to school because my results were not good. My mother said I should go to TVET. And then when I went there, it has become a blessing to me. That narrative where it looks as if you didn't get you didn't get grades, then it means you were not good. And so TVET is like some some sort of a generator that you only go to start when your light goes off. Is it not that maybe that is not your area? That is why perhaps your result may not be that. It's not because you are not good. Should we say the person is not good, or your result? Because you made the statement, if your results are not good, what is a good result as compared to somebody having the gift to do what and what? So that we don't have people who think that you tell your child, I want you to go to a technical school, and say, oh, Adam result to women from technical school. You know, people say that. How do we solve that problem? And then as Madam Gift Mensah is answering that question, we're going to ask a lot of questions on TVET because she's from the TVET service. And then with the topic that we are discussing is securing your future with TVET and STEM education. And you can call us on 0302 2080 0302 2080 0302 2080. Madam Gift Mensah, we are listening to you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Before that, I remember you asked a question about those who are very talented and they don't even have any certificates.
Yes.
Yes, in fact, that is the main reason why this TVET concept came into being. Because we had different ministries training different people with different certificates.
Okay.
But because they wanted a standardized certificate for everybody, the government brought in the TVET to Ghana. Now with the TVET, if you are a master crafts person and you want to also have a certificate, TVET certificate, you have the option to come.
Okay.
That's why I said we have the proficiency 1 and 2, depending on the level of education you had. So I even asked whether there are opportunities for those who want to write private BEC examination, because that is what that is the standard of education we have.
Okay, the standard of education we have. So you hold on for a call. Hello, good morning. Oh. All right, please.
So if there's a way people can write BECV privately, then that will actually help them to also progress. But still, you can have your certificate as a proficiency 1 or 2. That is, and then competency-based training.
Okay.
So you'll be very good with that certificate.
All right. Good morning. Hello. Let me pick this call. Yeah, please lower the volume on your radio set if you can do that for me. Thank you very much. All right, it's still high. If you can reduce it a little.
Okay. I want my daughter to go to the TZ.
Okay.
So what we have to get it.
Okay, so you want your daughter
now you finish what they call
the SHS, GHS. Okay.
GHS.
Okay. So what were you asking of the requirement to get to a TVET school, right?
Yes. Please.
Okay, all right. Thank you very much. What's your name, please, and where you're calling us from?
I'm calling from Tema.
You are calling from?
Then my name is Nana Frimpong.
Nana Frimpong from Tema. We'll answer your question. Thank you very much. God bless you for calling. Okay, so Madam, continue with it.
So like I said they also have the opportunity because we have the voucher project, which is also free, and we do it in some selected TVET institutions, like ATT, for instance. They do a lot of the voucher project.
Yeah.
So if you are interested, you go and enroll. And I think it is not only during the mornings; they do it in the evenings and all that. So it depends on the time you get to enroll, and so that you can also get the certification. Yes. So that is also there for you. And then when we want to also select master persons to train. To train some learners, those who didn't get the chance to go to formal schooling. We also have a way we actually examine them to know that the person is trained enough to be able to train others.
Oh, okay.
So we have our way and a criteria to say that this master crafts person will be willing to train others, and they go through some small training within 2 weeks to make sure that you'll be able to train others. Then I think the man also asked about the daughter who wants to go to the TVET schools.
Yes.
So like Aaron said, we have the grade A schools, we have grade B, we have grade C, like the SHS. And so when it comes to selection of schools, they are there with their codes, the school code and everything. Okay. So it depends on the course he wants the daughter to do, so that if we can assist in a way, we'll be willing to do that.
Okay, Mr. Agbugla.
So thank you very much. I think to add to that, what our mom is saying, originally we had a technical schools.
Okay.
And they had a long path. If they want to go to the polytechnic, they were to do the part 1, part 2 before they are ushered into the HND. Now, in this era, to solve that problem, per my understanding. That's why the concept of TVET came in, and such students are now being made to read English, Maths, Science, and Integrated Science. That's English, Maths, Integrated Science, Social Studies, and this brings them apart with their colleagues in the SHS. So that with this background, having their electives, if they are applying to the polytechnics, they could be ushered directly into their HND as their counterpart who are coming from the SHS. And now that it is a technical university, it means with their background in the English, they've done the standard for their English, Maths, Integrated and Social Studies is the same standard as that of the SHS. So with this preparation, they can equally compete with their colleagues in the SHS, following their path with their technical competency in their field.
Okay, Mr. Kwabwa.
Yes, I want to answer your question with a personal story. You talked about what happens when a student has a very high score, but they choose and they choose TVET. And I'm going to answer it with a personal story from my younger brother. So I'm 7 years older. I finished school. I finished high school, and I went straight into my BA. And then my brother is finishing, going through his schooling process, and he does brilliantly, very high marks and everything. And he says he's not going to go to university. And I was very angry at the time. I said, "You're wasting your time. You're too smart not to." He says, "No, Kweku, I'm gonna go to an institute, and I'm going to take classes, and I'm going to get computer skills, and I'm going to do ICT." So let's fast forward 18 years later. My brother is a computer technician for a school district in the United States. He runs and supports over 15 schools. He's able to take care of his wife and his children. They bought a house that's more than $500,000. So at the point of it all is that my brother's brilliant, but that was not what he wanted to do. What I was thinking and what my family was thinking, go get your BA and go through all these channels, was not for him. And so I'm brilliant and my brother's brilliant. He took a path and it's very much worked. And that path went along more of the technical route, less of the I'm going to go to traditional university. I went through the traditional university route and I'm here with you all. Both things can be true, right? So please stop telling your brilliant child that they should go and do this other thing. If they're making that choice and that decision, it is going to be the thing that they will do the best at. They will not begrudgingly get up in the morning. I always talk about this situation of Ghanaians are frustrated. Many of us are in our positions because we were forced into it or we don't enjoy what we do. And so you go to the bank and that young man or young woman is a frustrated banker, right? They don't really want to be a banker. They wish they were a lawyer, and they're driving you crazy or making your life miserable. So if we continue to tell our very brilliant people, no, you should do something because this is not for brilliant people, it's not only hurting them, it's hurting the whole country because they will do whatever job they get poorly in the long run. Also, those individuals in the TVET schools will start feeling like second-class citizens. I'm very, very tired of it because they're still all Ghanaian children. When I go to a TVET institution, I see the same smile on the face as I do at Presec. When I go to a TVET institution, I see the same smile on the face as I see at Wesley Girls. I see the same hopes and dreams for a beautiful country and a place where we all can live and we can all grow. So how and why should I think someone else is a second-class citizen?
Thank you very much, Madam Gifty Mensah. Someone asked what they how to get into the TVET institutions in Ghana that we have. Now we are going to be having school selection very soon. What advice you give to parents in choosing a STEM school and why?
Yes, you see, most of our counselors in the institutions go around their catchment area to the schools. They meet the PTA, then the parents, and then the graduates, those who have completed JHS3. And they normally explain the TVET areas. We have about 38 programs that we run within the TVET space. That is the formal. But the informal, we have a lot because they do bead work and other things. But the formal, we have about 38. So you can choose any of them. And then we have the booklets and everything that comes with selection of schools. So I just mentioned that we have the grade A TVET school, grade B in all the regions. So depending on the program you want to pursue, they are there, and the counselors are going around to actually educate them. So I have a few here. They do ICT, information technology.
Okay.
We have architectural engineering. We have automotive mechanics. Then we have refrigeration, air conditioning. We have a lot. Then automotive electrician, and we have electricals and yes, we have electricals, electronic engineering, and then we also have the solar. So a number of them. So I brought a few here. So
okay, so there's a caller on the line. Let's pick that one. You talk. Okay, you continue. Right. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Yeah, good morning. Your name and where you're calling us from, please.
Okay.
Yeah, what's your name, please?
Yeah, I'm calling from Ho.
You are calling from Ho. Can you please lower the volume on the radio set, and maybe you can change your position and let's hear you clearly?
Okay.
Oh, good. So talk to us.
You don't have a type of person though.
The type of what?
Who are they admitting into TVET?
Okay, so those who are being admitted into TVET, who are those being admitted into TVET? That's your question.
Those who have written
okay.
BC.
All right. So, madam, please, madam will answer you. Okay.
Yes, please.
All right. Thank you very much.
Those who have completed JHS and written the BC examination, and even those who didn't get chance to go to school, they will have to write some particular exam. That is why I said we have the provisions 1 and 2. But if you still want to progress, you can still do your private studies, write your exams and pass, then you can progress. So there's chance for everybody. Just that those who have completed BEC will write only one exam. That is the national certificate 2 exam.
Okay, let's pick this one.
They go to the university.
All right, thank you. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Class FM. Good. Yeah, yes, Class FM. Talk to her. What's your name and where you're calling us from, please?
My name is Godfrey Williams. I'm from Teva.
Okay, talk to us, Godfrey.
You have a very, very beautiful program.
Thank you.
And I congratulate you for that.
Yeah. God bless the Minister for Education. That is his initiative.
Amen.
Mm-hmm.
I have one worry and one question.
Okay.
My worry is the free stuff that is part of the program.
Please, you said your worry is what?
The free thing. Everything is free.
Okay, free. Okay, so free TVET, free SHS.
Yes.
Okay, so you can please reduce the volume on radio set for us a little.
No, I'm not even close to the radio.
Okay, all right. So talk to us. We are getting some feedback. You talk to us, eh?
Sorry.
Okay, no problem.
The free thing. And where is the guarantee that this free thing can be sustainable? That's my worry. Because this program is so beautiful. But if you make it free, get to a point it cannot be sustained, then it collapses. Now my question is, how are all these programs related to the NVTI program that are already in existence?
Okay. So how are all these programs related to the NVTI program? Is that not what you're saying? You're asking. Okay. Yes. All right. Great. So
so address my two issues.
All right. Thank you very much.
And the NVTI.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Mr. Godfrey.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Thank you. God bless you. So, Mr. Kwabua, the free thing, are we able to sustain it? That's his worry.
I actually respect that question because I think that he's recognizing the positivity of free SHS and free TVET and what it can do. And so obviously I respect the question. But I would just respectfully also state that it's a matter of priority. This government has taken a priority that says with all the money we have as a country, this is a priority. And I think the gentleman would agree that's a priority and is going to benefit us. And so if we must suffer on some other places, or if this was your home budget, right? And you had a budget for a lot of different things, you had 100 cities, but you knew that the food budget, right, had to be at least 25 cities. You do anything in the world, you will spend less everywhere else to ensure that you have the 25 for that. This government has done that. right? In the form of setting out budget allocations for these programs. And so I do believe that will happen. In addition to that, we are a country that does a very good job of getting support from donor agencies. Where we are a ministry and a government that does a very good job of getting support from partners all over the world, and also drumming up support. So places like Bagia Air Development Bank is there for us, and we all know that it seems as if the Arabs print their own money, right? They have the money there, and so we are always looking out to make this more and more sustainable. So in that simple answer is yes, it's very sustainable because it's a priority. The issue is that any government that comes in, whether it be another MPP government, NDC, whoever it comes in, needs to continue making it a priority. Right. And I think he would agree that it should be.
Yes, yeah, thank you. All right. Thank you very much. Madam Gifty, before we take we have just 2 minutes, so give us 30 seconds. A caller. Hello, good morning. Well, okay, so Madam Gifty, he talked about the NVTI. Yeah, so
last week I mentioned
we have just a minute to leave, so you can make it.
Okay, so I mentioned that TVET is a coined name for every technical vocational education and training.
Okay.
So that is what we do. So the difference is that now they are writing different exams from the one they were writing before, and now there's the progression for and every child who goes through the TVET will have the chance to even go through up to the doctorate level. Formerly they had to go through a very long process, so some of the processes have been cut down, and now they can also have access straight to the university just after writing their certificate, one exam. Like the SHS people also write the WASI, and they are also doing the same core subject as the SHS,
okay,
so that they will be at par with their colleagues from the SHS. So if you actually want to go through and progress, you can still start like what the lady said. She said she went back to school, she started from JHS, and then now she's now progressing, and she thinks she wants to be a nurse or something. So if you also really want to do that, since the free option is there, and even the voucher project is being sponsored by the government for free for those who didn't actually get the chance to go to school. So that is what the government wants to do. We want to invest in our human resource, and that is very good. So if Ghanaians will also, all of us will try and tighten our belt, so that in the next 10 years we see our country developing, that is a very good thing.
Thank you very much.
Everybody should support this.
Thank you very much for having here with Madam Gifty Mensah, who is the National Coordinator for Guidance and Career Counseling at the Ghana TVET Service, Mr. Buenote Agbugla from the Accra High School and the TVET STEM Center, and also Mr. Ironchuma Kwaba, who is a Strategy and Innovation Director at the Ministry of Education. That's something we have to discuss probably next week when we come, because we end the series next week. It's the behavior of these people you train. It's something that we I don't know how you handle.
Skills.
Yes, because you realize that you take your car to a mechanic shop and they will be tossing you, and they will be doing things, and they will be yeah. So yes, our time is up. We'll deal with that the way their behavior. And you have this mason who just take money from Koto Cement about on top. They will tell you they will need. See, something happened at church. I'm saying this thing that we end. Some two guys stopped coming to church because I was home when they called me and said, Pastor, connection. And the moment I heard the word connection, I was like, what connection is this one? They had gone to lay blocks for someone. They told the person that they needed 1,005 blocks, when actually they needed 800 blocks. So when they took the 1,005 blocks, after the remaining, instead of telling the person that there are some of the cement blocks that have remained for the person to tell them what to do with it, whether to sell it or whatever, they were calling me to come and buy the blocks, the stolen. So that was a stolen item. And these are people that are working for. So you see, you employ these people, come and work in my house. Before you realize they are doing it, our time is up. So don't worry. Next week when we come, we'll be talking about this conduct that these artisans have, which is not fair at all. They are not being fair with us. And I think we have few of them who are doing that. We need to address that so that at least they can make money from us as well. Thank you very much for joining us, all of you. God bless you so much. We are grateful. God bless you. We'll see you again next week for another edition. We're going to end this series next week. God bless you.
fonko bobano enyela yito ikekpamo e ekokuranya bano